Welcome to COM 101. This is a fully online version of the communication course that most of you are required to take. This orientation video will help you to kind of navigate the course and give you a good starting place for being successful throughout our time together. So this is a front page that you will get to. Most of you have already gotten to this point and likely have, kind of perused a little bit. I want to start by sort of going over some details, and then I'll show you what the process should look like as you navigate through the course. So over here on your left, you have the syllabus for this class. When you get into that, you can scroll through and see some basic information. There's not a whole lot of detail for things like assignments, but it does give you a lot of good information that gives you a general overview of the course. So my name, contact information, you can very easily get a hold of me via this email. It just beeps on my phone and I can get back to you as soon as I see it. There's a description of the course. This is what we call a hybrid course. So essentially, it is a combination of a number of different things that are common courses in communication. That would include things like interpersonal communication, small group, public speaking, and among others. So this will cover quite a bit of generalized content. The course objectives are listed here, so please take your time and read through them. Also, the textbook, if you haven't gotten one already, make sure to get it ASAP so that you are able to take full control of your experience and be as successful as possible in some of these components. Now, I want to spend a little bit of time talking briefly about the assignments. For this course, we have a single discussion. I personally am not a fan of discussion boards. Not to say they're not useful, but they tend to cause more stress than they're worth. That being said, an introduction discussion board is extremely useful for a number of reasons. So I do want to do that. It is a kind of a completion thing. I ask that you answer the questions that I give you in the discussion board very clearly and in depth, and then you respond to at least 2 of your classmates. And that is the only discussion board you'll be required to do. Everything else is done on your own, and it is completely up to you to do these assignments. You don't have to rely on anybody else in the class in order to be successful. So a couple of other things. Your next bit of assignments are speech outlines. So you will have outlines for all 3 speeches, and every COM 101 course you take, you're going to need to take 3 speeches or complete 3 speeches. So you will have 3 outlines that increase in their point value as you go along. The next thing on here are the speeches themselves, and all the details are available to you in Canvas. It will give you an increase in points as you go. So the first speech is obviously worth the fewest amount of points all the way up to the 3rd speech, which is quite a bit more. You also have exams in this class. These are open note, open book, no time limit exams. The point of an exam is to see how much of the information you are understanding. They are primarily application style questions. So they're, Joe Schmo is doing this. What kind of situation is Joe Schmo in? Or what concept applies here? That kind of thing. So using your textbook is not a negative in those situations. And timing you, I think, causes more stress than it's worth. So you have a complete freedom of time and a complete freedom of use of whatever resources you need. There, like I said, are 7 exams, but they vary in points based on how many questions there are. So the first exam is really a pretty darn short exam. It's the only one actually that has any sort of essay question, and the rest are all multiple choice and true false. Exams 2 through 7 are, like I said, all true false and multiple choice. You'll notice that there's some that are real short. For example, 28 questions here, 1 point apiece, and there's some that are quite long, such as 94 questions. And so that is going to take quite a bit of time. So take a look at how many points that exam is worth, because that means that's how many questions you're going to need to answer. So you might want to take that into account when you set aside time to take the exam, so that you have enough time to put towards each of the questions. Now, if you were to say, expect maybe, I don't know, a minute for each question, this exam would take you over an hour and a half. Now, I would expect more than a minute, because you want to have a little bit of time to go looking through different parts of your book, or remembering material from the lectures, or looking through your notes from the lectures in order to complete it. But you are going to need to sort of keep that in mind, that time limit. Well, not time limit, but setting aside the amount of time. Unfortunately, I would not leave and then come back to the exam, because in some cases it'll automatically submit it. And you don't want it to do that, especially if you forget to submit it at the due date, then it'll automatically submit. But other times it's just a technical snafu, and you don't want that to be the case. So that compiles up to 420 points of your score. Then you have the final thing that you'll have to do are really quick reflections. They're not big, huge papers. They're reflections, so they're a couple paragraphs each for the questions that you're going to respond to. And you'll do them 3 times. Once kind of around module 4, which is, about halfway through. Once towards the end, and then once at the very end during finals week, or right before finals week. And that's up to 130 points. The grading procedure is laid out here, so it kind of tells you where your points are going and how many total you have possible in the class. Attendance in an online class is unique. I do ask that you submit assignments on time. So if you are not submitting the assignment on time, or you don't log in for 2 weeks in a row, you're going to find yourself withdrawn from the course. So try to make sure you are consistently logging in, checking the content, submitting your assignments on time, and so on. So that's kind of it. That's the syllabus here for you. If you take a look at that home page, another thing that is of value is a link to each module. Now this is set up, it's a 16-week course, but it is set up into 8 modules. Each module is a different span of time. So I have provided the dates for you for each module. Depending upon which term this is, these will look a little different, but basically your dates are as follows. They're going to list them out here, so you might want to either screen capture this, or screenshot this, or write it down, or print it out, or whatever you need to do in order to make sure you're on task. However, it shouldn't be a major issue, because the calendar gives you all of those things. All the dates are loaded into the course, and you should see it available in each of the modules. So this is the front page. You do also have a link to the syllabus in a PDF form if you want it. If you click on the links, so let's say you're in the course right now, and you've probably already gone here because you're watching the orientation. You click on Module 1, and you will see usually an image at the top, kind of a brief overview of what this module is all about, an agenda for that module, which gives you the range of dates, any readings you have to do, anything you need to watch, and any assignments that need to be completed by this date in the module. All assignments are due by the end date of the module. So there's nothing in between. It's just once that module is complete, that's when the assignments are due. So in this case, you need to read chapter 1. You need to watch these videos. Anytime there is a video, the video is from me directly. So these are all my own personal YouTube videos that I've created for you guys. So hopefully they'll be of value to you. So you'll watch that video. I would highly recommend taking notes on the videos. They're usually pretty short. Most of them range 5 to 10 minutes at the most. Some, for example, the speech anxiety video is quite long. It's 17 minutes. And the reason for that is I have a lot to say, and a lot of people really do benefit from learning as much as possible about how to manage their anxiety. So, but on the whole, most of the videos are around 5 to 10 minutes. Then if you scroll down, you'll see the assignments. Each are linked directly here. So all you have to do is click on the assignment and it'll take you right to it. So if I clicked on Introduction Discussions, it tells you what the grade value is, so how many points you can earn, when it is due, and then the description of the assignment. And in discussions, all you have to do is create a post. So you can reply to it and then head from there. You can even subscribe to it if you are interested in doing so. So then I'm going to go back. And then exam 1, if you click on that, it will tell you kind of the details of it, how many points, the questions that are in there, what it's over, and then you can begin the exam. So hopefully this is pretty self-explanatory as you go through. And then you'll be complete with this particular module. Once you're complete, then you can click to go to the next module. Or if you're coming from the front home screen, you can just click on whatever module you're in that week. So it's a pretty straightforward setup. You'll notice module 2 looks very similar. You have the range of dates, the readings, the videos, and what assignments, if any, you have to do. And usually there's an assignment. And so those are the descriptions. Pretty easy. Each module, again, is different. You'll notice the first module is about a week and a half. This module is about 1 week. So these are pretty short. But when you get to module 3, which includes a speech and requires more work, it's longer. So this one's February 4th to the 17th. So it gives you more time to work on those things. In most of your minds, you're probably wondering, how do I do a speech in an online class? Well, first, this is a communications course. So it is all sorts of communications. You're not taking a solely public speaking based course. If this was all public speaking, I don't think that most would do the speeches in this way. Instead, there are a lot of components to this course. You're kind of just dipping your feet into the waters of communication concepts. So if you look down here, there is a requirement to submit a video. So speech number 1, video. It tells you to record your speech, and you can do your recording via a webcam. You can do it with a tablet or a phone or whatever works best for you. And then you're going to want to upload that to YouTube, and you want to make sure that it's set to public. So when you do that, you'll send me the link to that video. I do need to see your whole body in the speech. Just stand up, and you can be anywhere. You don't have to have any, large audience or anything like that, because like I said, this is kind of a unique course. So stand up, provide the information that you are supposed to provide for the speech, which you will learn about in your module. Save that video to YouTube in a public setting, and then you are going to submit that link to me. And then all you have to do is just click submit assignment, and you can put in a website URL if you want, real easy, or you can copy and paste it in here, whichever is most comfortable for you. So that is the entirety of how these work. Hopefully it's pretty self-explanatory. You can also make use of these buttons over here to see different components. If there's an announcement, you can click on the announcements button. You can see all of the assignments and their due dates and their point values listed. So if you want to take a look at it that way, that's another great way to see it. There's a lot of options. So take your time, explore the course. You don't have a whole heck of a lot due in the first week and a half. It's just kind of a quick overview in module 1. So you have the time to look through everything and make sure you're on task. Otherwise, if you have questions or concerns, you can always contact me. My name is Kristen, or you can call me Professor K. That is what is mostly done. If you want, you can get my contact information down here. I do accept text messages. I would prefer that you send an email first, but you are welcome to send a text message to this phone number if you need to. And you can just sort of say, hey, I'm in your COM 101 class. Here's my question. I did provide a little bit about me, but I'll talk to you a little more in the introduction section and hopefully give you a little bit of information about myself. So thank you guys, and best of luck in the first semester.